What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are sitting in a 2023 Acura Integra A-Spec, and today I'm going to teach you how to use the adaptive cruise control system on the car and the lane keeping assist system on the car. So the adaptive cruise is the system where the vehicle can maintain a distance from the car in front of it, speed up, slow down, and even bring itself to a complete stop with the automatic transmission. If you have a new Integra with a manual, it works a little bit differently, but I'll put a link in the description to a video about that. And the lane keeping assist is the part of the system where if the car's camera can read the lane lines, it can kind of control the steering a little bit to help keep you centered in your lane. It's not self-driving. Neither of these are self-driving systems. You need to keep your hand on the wheel. You need to watch the road. You need to be ready to hit the brakes and intervene at any time. But with all that being said, the controls for these systems are right here on the right side of the steering wheel. Step one for the adaptive cruise is to push this little button with the car with the clock on it. That's actually supposed to be a speedometer. So when you push that, the graphic in the center of the screen changes. So that is with the adaptive cruise control system ready. And I really like this graphic on these cars because it gives you real-time information. If I put my foot on the brake, it will illuminate the brake lights on the little graphic, and when the car hits the brakes on its own, it will tell you that as well. And if I put the blinker on, it puts its blinker on. So that's a cool little feature. Once you have that on, you bump down to set your speed when you're up to speed on the road. It can't do it right now because we're not moving. And then you bump up to increase your set speed, bump down to decrease your set speed. That's the plus and minus. Click up to resume. If the car brings itself to a complete stop and traffic ahead starts moving again, you can either click up right there or you can tap the gas pedal. And this adjusts the distance from the car in front of you. So if you push this button, it shows you right here what your following interval is. Normally on freeways with heavy traffic, I use the shortest one, but if I'm on surface streets or on a kind of a highway, I'll use one of the longer following distances. And then this is the button to turn the lane keeping assist system on. When we're not moving, it just shows us the little steering wheel with the lines right there. But once you get moving, as you'll see when I drive the car, it puts some lane lines there and they'll turn green if the car's camera can read the lane lines and kind of help you control the steering. You can use the lane keeping assist system separately from the adaptive cruise on this car. So if you just want the lane keeping, you can use that. Or if you just want the adaptive cruise, you can use that. Or you can use them both at the same time and kind of put driving on easy mode. So with all that being said, let's get this thing out on the road and I'll show you how it works. All right, so we are out on the road. We are going to push the little car with the clock on it to activate the system, and then we are going to bump down on that toggle switch to set the speed, and then I'm going to bump up on the plus a bunch of times to increase my speed so I can keep up with traffic. And now there is a vehicle in front of us. Oh, there's another vehicle getting in front of us. And we can see right here on this little screen that we are locked onto the car in front of us. That's why it's showing the little green outline. That's telling us that it's locked onto this car in front of us right here. And the car is now braking on its own. My little brake lights are illuminated there. Let's see, we're coming to a red light. And we're slowing down. I do not have my foot on the brake. The car is doing this on its own. And we are coming to a complete stop in the 2023 Acura Integra. So the car just came to a stop on its own. I do not have my foot on the brake. It has shut down the engine to save fuel. One thing I like about the adaptive cruise in this car, you can see down here, it kind of tells you what's going on. So the green outline is the car in front of us, and then it's also aware of that black car right there. I'm going to turn the lane keeping assist on by pushing this button, just because that will give us some more graphics when it's able to read the lane lines. And we are currently stopped. So we are just going to wait. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind about this system. So we're stopped at a red light right now, but the reason why the car stopped is because it was locked onto the car in front of us. If you are not locked onto a car, the system in this will not read red lights. So now I just tap the gas pedal to get the car moving again, and we start moving again. So the car does not read red lights with this particular version of Acura Watch. So if you have the system engaged and you're driving on your own and the light turns red, you have to make sure that you stop for the light, because if it's not locked onto a car that's slowing down, it's not going to stop. Another thing to keep in mind is this is the sort of environment that it's meant to be in. So right now, we're locked onto the car in front of us. We are cruising along with that car, and so if he starts to slow down, we will slow down. But if you're on the highway with one of these cars with the adaptive cruise control active, and there's nobody in front of you, let's say you have your speed set to 70, you're on the highway, and all of a sudden something happened up ahead and all the traffic is coming to a stop, you need to hit the brakes, take control of the system, and slow down on your own. The adaptive cruise is not meant to drive towards a brick wall or stopped vehicles. There is a very good chance that it would stop, but don't risk it. This is not a self-driving system. I still have my hand on the wheel, even though the lane keeping assist is currently active. That's why the lines are green right there. So you just have to pay attention. Now, one thing that's happening right now, I have my maximum speed set to 45, and as we can see, the vehicle in front of me is pulling away. He's going faster than that. So this car will not exceed your maximum set speed when you have the adaptive cruise control on. It will just wait until it catches up to another vehicle that is going slower, or until you hit the brakes and intervene, or whatever it is. I could increase my speed if I wanted to keep up with those cars a little bit more, but I think at that point I'd be breaking the speed limit, even though obviously everybody else is on this particular road. But I'm just out here filming a demo vehicle. Now, for the record, I don't usually use this system on surface streets. I usually use it, all right, I'm gonna hit the brakes. Had to interrupt there. So the car probably would have recognized that Tesla and stopped for it, but it's more looking forward as opposed to having peripheral vision. So in that particular case, I just hit the brakes, canceled the cruise, and that's how I did that, because, you don't want to take a risk. Again, this is not a self-driving system. You still need to pay attention. You need to watch what's going on the road. So I just stopped the vehicle myself. I currently have my foot on the brake, and we are just going to sit here and wait. Now, another thing to keep in mind with this system is what type of vehicle are you locked onto? So, for example, if we get moving now, being locked onto a Tesla Model 3 is no issue. It's a regular shaped vehicle, and most cars are, but the example I always use is a flatbed truck with nothing on the bed. Is the car locked onto the back of the truck or the back of the cab? All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bump resume, and that re-engages the adaptive cruise since I hit the brakes to cancel it. So now the car is cruising again, and it's accelerating on its own. So again, are you following a regular shaped vehicle, or are you following like a flatbed truck with nothing on the bed of the truck? Here's another person cutting me off. People are in a hurry this Sunday morning. I just hit the brakes and then bumped resume on the steering wheel real quick just to make sure nothing happened there. The other thing is motorcycles. I don't really like following motorcycles when I'm using the adaptive cruise control in any vehicle. They usually do lock onto it, but it just kind of makes me nervous. And some cars, it depends on the car, will say in the owner's manual, do not follow motorcycles with this system. The problem is, if you hit somebody on a motorcycle, it's so much worse than hitting somebody in a car. So I just recommend don't do it. Take control of the car yourself and drive it yourself if you're behind a motorcycle. I'm just gonna bump resume on the steering wheel right there. I did that off camera to get it moving again, just so that there's no mishaps. Uh-oh. We have an emergency vehicle up ahead, so let me see. I don't think it's safe for me to pull over because there's another car coming. So I'm just going to wait here. This is where it does its best work, right here, when you're just kind of creeping along. Because I'm not using the accelerator. I'm locked onto the car in front of me. I only film the how-to videos on these on surface streets because it's so, it's so much easier to demonstrate it. On the freeway, it's not. All right, I'm going to hit the brakes now because obviously traffic is stopped up ahead. So the reason why I just hit the brake and canceled the system is because if I hadn't done that, it would have just accelerated on its own. So now I am in control of the adaptive cruise control. And I guess I have to turn around. There's the Pacific Ocean out in the distance. It's a very beautiful day here in the South Bay. Although apparently somebody's not having a great day with the emergency vehicles there. So hopefully nobody was hurt too badly. I'm going to get this thing turned around. I'll be right back. So I am on my way back, and I think I've pretty much said everything that I need to say. Push the button with the car with the clock on it to activate the adaptive cruise system. Bump down on the toggle switch to set your speed, bump down to reduce the speed, bump up to increase the speed, use that to adjust your following distance, and use that to turn the lane keeping assist on and off. Please always remember that it is not a self-driving system. It is meant for you to always pay attention. If you have any questions or if there's anything that I did not cover in the video, please put them in the comments. And I'll do everything I can to answer them for you. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.